Hello everybody, happy Friday. Well, we are back for part 2 of Sharla's budget. This is part of the Back to the Basics series. In part 1, we went through all of Sharla's bills. We went through her income. We went through a problem of pay in 4. This is where, because they didn't have the money to buy groceries, to buy other things that they needed, they got into this pay in 4 cycle. It's like payday loan cycle, right? The people that get into those cycles, cash advances off of your paycheck. My daughter has been struggling with that one where she doesn't have enough money, so she takes from her next paycheck. And then when her next paycheck comes, it's short. So then she pulls from the next paycheck. And it's one of those cycles that is so hard to break. So I'm super excited that Sharla reached out to me to see if I could help her set a budget and try to help them get back on track. So let's address a couple things about Sharla's budget. First of all, they got behind because of medical issues. So this can quite easily happen to most of us, because if you can't pay all of a sudden, or you've got big medical bills coming in and you don't have sick pay at work, that type of stuff really can just mess with your budget. As we know, in today's budgeting world, most people live paycheck to paycheck. And for me, breaking that paycheck to paycheck cycle was so freeing. And so that is why I'm here with you today, to hopefully help not only Sharla, but to help somebody who is watching this video. So let's talk about really quick, let's recap what we talked about the last time. I do want to talk about something that I realized after I filmed, that while the numbers crunched, they didn't actually crunch the way they should have. That sounds silly, but we talked about her expenses versus her income for the month of July. And the way that everything was written out, it looked like there would be a tiny bit left, like a little bit more than $10 it was. In actuality, Sharla hadn't saved enough money from the previous month to pay her mortgage that was due on July 1st. So her July 4th paycheck had to have $600 out of it to actually pay for something that technically should have been already saved for and paid. So that's another $600 minus that. So if you take that, she was actually $590 short for the month, not including anything else. So I talked to Sharla. I recommended some things that she cut out of her budget. She did choose to cut a couple things out of her budget. And then also we minimized the money going out in small increments. So hopefully this is good enough. I also want to let you guys know, Sharla reached out to me after she found out what her paycheck was. It was not $600 like she hoped. It was actually short. But I was super excited when Sharla said, but it's okay because I baked sourdough yesterday and I sold 3 loaves and I made up the $30 that I was going to be short. Way to go, Sharla, for making it work, getting some extra money to add to your bills. That is exactly what you guys need to do to stay the course. In video 1, I explained that Sharla and her family are going to have to live a pretty tight budget for the next 6 to 8 weeks. And for them, it's a shorter amount of time because of the pay in 4 cycle that they have gotten in. I'm super excited to walk you guys through the budgets. We have got 4 weekly budgets to go through. We've got the budgeting plan. And in the budgeting plan, you're going to see how much credit and pay in 4 payments Sharla has to make in July. And it is absolutely insane. So let's go ahead and hop into Sharla's budget.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Go ahead and hop in to Sharla's budget. We have a lot to go through today, and so I don't want to chitter chatter anymore. We're going to go ahead and start off with our budget plan. So our budget plan is quite simple. Actually, I know it doesn't look simple because there's a lot on there, but right now, as far as this part of the budget plan, as far as we're concerned, we have got our income sources, we've got our bills on here, and we've got our credit cards, pay in 4 for Sharla. This I made specially for Sharla. One thing you're not going to see on this budget plan is you're not going to see the cash that they're going to use for groceries, gasoline, money they give to their son, stuff like that, but that is in the weekly budgets. This this is what I created for Sharla to make sure we could get all of these onto one page. And so, of course, we've broke it down by our paydays. And so they've got 4 different paydays. They do get a couple checks each week. And so there are 2 weeks that are generally higher and 2 weeks that are generally lower. However, for the July 4th paycheck, Sharla missed some work, and so her paycheck was lower. And we have got a total income of $7,129.48. Like I said, while it seems like that's enough money for the month, it's actually not. So she did do some cutting. And so from her budget, she cut out, let's see, what did we say she cut out? She cut out Apple. Yep, she cut out Apple Family Plan. And then she also cut out Hulu. So she cut those out. They also lowered some of their other money that they were spending. So we've got all of her bills here, and we've got all of the credit card and the pay in 4. I do want you guys to notice, look at these in red right here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pay in 4s that are going to be paid off in July. This will make August budget that much easier. So we are trying our hardest for Sharla to make it through this month and next month without doing another pay it in 4. That is our main goal, to get our bills caught back up, as I said, and get back on track. So we've got our pay there, we've got all of our bills here, and we've got all of our pay in 4 and our credit cards. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 37 credit card and pay in 4s. So that is a lot. And the pay in 4, once you get into it, it's that vicious cycle. My daughter, while she hasn't done the pay in 4, she has done the payday, the cash, well, not cash advance, the payday advance through her company, so she doesn't pay interest, but started out like, oh, I don't have enough money for my bills, so I'm going to pull $100 from the next paycheck. Well, then the next paycheck comes along and she still doesn't have enough money. So she pulls maybe $150, right? And then it keeps going and it's a vicious cycle. And that's like the payday loans that I've seen people do, 300% interest, 500% interest. So you guys, stay away from predatory loans if you possibly can. I mean, that is the worst thing ever. So our budget plan. Now, let's go ahead and show you the calendar that we have got here. And so this is a 2-page calendar. I did print this up, type this up for Sharla. This is part of the budgeting services that she paid for. So we've got our July calendar here. And I think when you look at this, especially on those Fridays and Saturdays, it just kind of like shoves it in your face, right? You see exactly how much there is going out. Just so you guys know, the Saturday stuff, most of it should be on Friday too, because these are on their paydays. All these Wayfarers are on their paydays. Obviously, I could not fit all of this stuff on here without making it super small. So we have broken this down. I learned this from the Budget Mom when I started my budgeting journey. Absolutely love this way because I'm very visual. I love being able to see everything that needs to be paid, on what payday it needs to be paid, and how everything is going to work. So here you see we've color coded it. I've done this on the computer, but very easily you could do this in a regular calendar if you wanted. Get a highlighter, highlight it by your paydays. And so they get paid every Friday. So you can see I put the little dollar bills on there and I've broken all of their bills down so that they can see exactly when everything is due and when it needs to be paid. Now at the end of the month, you're going to notice that I've got some of this lighter pink quite a ways down into the month. That's because the 18th is a larger paycheck, the 25th is a smaller paycheck, and they've got a big bill that is due for the payment plan that they set up for a bill that they are behind. So let's go ahead and jump into these paycheck to paycheck budgets. We've got 4 that we're going to walk through today. And paycheck to paycheck budgets, it's one of those things that you get better at the more that you do them. For me, I have found when I'm doing them for somebody new, it takes me quite a while. So if you're brand new at this, it's probably going to take you a while to figure out what bills need to be paid where. I recommend doing, it in pencil and scrap paper to start off with, or pen if you're just going to cross it off. And so we've got our paycheck on July 4th, which has obviously already passed by the time you guys are seeing this, because you will see it on July, what is that, 11th, right? July 11th. This video will post on July 11th. So this is a smaller payday. The reason why it's smaller is this is the payday that was short due to illness. And so we are working with $1,713.87. We have got 4 bills that we need to pay right here. We've got mortgage, Netflix, insurance, and we've got that dental loan. And so our bills add up to $1,053.11, which leaves us with $660.76. And I'm going to go ahead and move these on over to this column. This says sinking fund. For Sharla, this is not sinking fund. This right here is credit cards and pay in 4. This is my regular paycheck to paycheck budget kit, and I made it work for Sharla without creating a new form. She's not doing sinking funds now, so this is a perfect place for the pay in 4 to go. So right here, we have got some exciting news. We start to see that we are going to pay off 2 paid in 4s right here within the first week of starting our budget. So that is amazing. So that's 2 less we'll have to pay in 2 weeks or next month. And so we have got several of those. We've got lots of credit card payments and stuff due there. So we've got $375.71 in pay in 4 and credit card coming out of our pay. That's pretty high considering the take home was only $1,713.87. That leaves us with $285.05. This is a place where Sharla cut her budget immensely. And you guys, one thing I want to remind you of is as you start a brand new budget, whether you've done budgeting before, whether you've done anything, give yourself some grace. It's going to take you a few months to get into the groove and be able to make your budget where you want to. And so Sharla, she said before her husband was normally getting $70 a week. One place she told me, she goes, let's cut that down. My husband knows where we're at. We're going to make it work. So we lowered that. She would normally give her son on this payday $40 because she would do it on the weeks that her husband and her got it. So we lowered that in half. She normally would give herself $50 in gas for the month. I'm not sure when she normally did that. I asked her, would 20 work okay for you? And she said yes, because I have a half of a tank. So we're going to go ahead and lower that. And then food right here, she normally had $150. She said, I want to lower the food budget because this month my one son is with his father, so there's only 3 of us. So that is a great way to make it work. Another way is because she is using her home delivery for groceries, that will help her stay in budget. Then she's got some medical stuff, 50, pest control, 25, and 40. Those are the same. So if you look at all of this, they've went down. She also took some stuff out of the budget completely that she would normally spend money on. And so that's $290. That leaves her with $5.05. You guys, I did not do a zero-based budget for Sharla. I didn't ask if she wanted that. But with how much we have going on in her budget, I tried to leave just a few dollars in there to maybe go into the checking account, because I did not bring a rollover or anything into her budget either. And so if she wants to add that into her budget, like when she does her actual, like when she writes out her paychecks and she does the actual, she can do rollover. Maybe she has $32 in her checking account and then she can bring it on down. That's what the budget and the actual are for. So that's our first paycheck. Now we come to our second paycheck. And this one, you guys, is something that I had to correct. I made a mistake in this, and I contacted Sharla. I let her know that I made a mistake. I had accidentally put on here for her to pay her car payment with the next check. That wouldn't work. Her car payment would be late because she has set up a payment plan for the car payment where I believe it's the next 4 months. She'll get caught up. They were very good to her and helped her try to figure out something that would work. And you guys, if you are behind on your bills and stuff, especially if it's not the normal and you don't do it all the time, most creditors will try to help you to get you caught back up. So we have got our paycheck, we've got child support, we've got savings. We're bringing in $225. This is not ideal. Sharla had $400 in savings when we started with this budget. I told her to leave it in there. Leave it in there. And then I started working on the budget and I'm like, oh, we're going to have to use part of it so we can pay that car payment. But we know that's important. So with that 225, we've got $1,625.87. And, you know, we've got water, Hulu, electric, Walmart Plus, which is going to help her save money. Car payment of $810.64. So a car payment of $810.64. you know, with the 225 is quite a bit, but without the 225 was just too much. So we've got 405.23 left over. We're going to pull it on up here. You can see that we've got more pay in fours and credit cards here. And you guys, how exciting is this? We have got another paid in four paid off. That's another one that Sharla can cross off the books, pat herself on the back and say, okay, we've made it another week. We can do this. And so $233.94 going to debt, $171.29 left over. Again, you're going to look at this right here. We've got hubby down. We've got son down. We've got gas, which is down. Food, which is down. $170. That leaves Sharla a whopping $1.29. I know, you guys, $1.29. You can't even get a soda for that anymore. All right, now we're on the third week here. So the third week here, we've got her hubby's paycheck and hopefully a full paycheck for Sharla. She said her paycheck should be about $1,500. And so we are going to pay quite a bit of the mortgage that's due on 8/1 with the way the budget worked out. We need $1,600 for the mortgage. We are going to be paying $1,400 for the mortgage. No, I'm sorry. We need $1,800 for the mortgage. We're going to be paying $1,400 or setting aside $1,400. And then we're going to put the money towards her son's car, $300. So there's $1,700 coming out for that. That leaves us $913.87. Then you look over here. We have got a lot of debt that's going to get paid. The reason why I'm recommending that Sharla pay all of this debt with this check is the next check, because of a big bill, there is not much to pay debt. So you're going to look on here and you're going to see that we're paying stuff that's due all the way from 7/18 all the way to 7/28. But look at you guys right here. We've got Chase number 2 that's paid off. We've got Walmart that's paid off, and we've got Amazon that's paid off. 3 more are paid off. So that is an amazing step in Sharla's journey. And we have got $541.89, like I said, going to debt, $371.98. We're going to roll this on over here. We have got more expenses because of the end of the month, doctor's appointments, meds, stuff like that. So we've got hubby, that's down. Her son is down. Her gas money is down. Food is down. Those are all still down. Then she's added pest, lawn, weight loss, doctor, meds, all of that. So that leaves her with $19.98, almost $20 this week, you guys. Whew, we're rolling in the dough. Now, some people would say, okay, that $19.98 should go towards her debt. I agree, but I disagree. This month, we are focusing on paying all of our bills. We're doing baby steps. We're paying all of our bills, making sure that we can catch up with the bills that we're behind. We're paying our pay in fours. And if there's $20 extra and they want to go get a Frosty from Wendy's, then let them get a Frosty, I say. Sorry, you guys. Coughing on you. I better have a drink. All right. Because that's how it works. That's how it works for me sometimes. All right, so now final paycheck to paycheck of the month. We have got not a huge check, as you guys know. We have got $1,113.87, child support $287. We've got $1,400 we're working with. AT&T. This is the bill I was telling you guys about, $932.12. This is Sharla trying to get caught back up. AT&T is their internet provider and their cell phone service provider. So that is what we have to do to pay it, get it paid and get it paid off. It's going to take Sharla a while to get these paid back, but this is the payment that AT&T was willing to accept, and we had to make it work for her budget because we don't want her phone, her internet being shut off. We, you know, like kind of like the car. We don't want her car being repossessed. So we're trying to get caught back up. Then we're going to go ahead and take $200 more to the mortgage. So we'll still owe $200 more to the mortgage. That's better than $600 like July, right? We had to pay $600 out of the first paycheck. So we've got $200. And the good news is the way that the paydays land, they get paid again on the 1st. So that won't be late. And so that's $1,132, which leaves us with $268.75. Do you guys now see why all of this had to come out of this check? Yeah, because there's not much. So we've got $268.75 over here. We've got 3 payments. And look at this, you guys. We have got another pay in 4 paid off. Another one, you guys. These aren't even my bills, you guys, and it makes me so happy to see this. And I keep my fingers crossed that Sharla and her family can stick to this budget this month to get them that much closer to getting back on track. So that leaves us with $180.35. We look right here. We see hubby is still down. Son is still down. Gas is still down. Food is still down. You'll notice this month, there were no haircuts for the boys. So that was $70. There were no vapes for Sharla. That was $60, right? And her hubby went from getting $70 a week down to $25. And this last week, there was enough to give him an extra $5. So he got $30. And so you've got to cut what you've got to cut. So I wrote out a very simple recommendation for Sharla. It's very simple. In the very beginning of your budget, you really need to keep it simple. So goal number 1, pay all bills and stay current on bills. Like I told you guys, that is our main focus. Goal number 2, $1,000 emergency fund. I was hoping we were going to be able to start August off with $400 of that already in there, but life happened. I say we, but Sharla contacted the companies, made payment plans the best that she could, what they were willing to accept, and part of that money has to be used for it, and that's okay. That is an emergency right there, you guys, okay? If you are behind on your car payment and it's already behind, then that is an emergency. So we'll start on goal number 2 this next month. I'm hopeful that we can start on goal number 2 and goal number 3 next month. Goal number 3 is to do the debt snowball, which we talked about in the last video, smallest debt to largest. One thing to keep in mind too, when we start the debt snowball, Sharla is going to, of course, give me the updated amounts. They should all be a little bit lower because they will have gotten another payday or another payment, I should say. And then last, we're going to start sinking funds. And so here I wrote for Sharla, if your paycheck is over the budget plan, I recommend you add the extra money to goal number 2 and then goal number 3. As your journey continues, the goals will change. And then, of course, $1,000 emergency fund. Once you meet the emergency fund goal, the baby goal of $1,000, you're going to stop putting money towards it. You're going to start putting everything towards debt. And I put credit card debt, start snowball. This will happen in August. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Once goal number 1 and number 2 are met, add all extra money to debt. And I found a grammar mistake in here. There we go. Sinking funds, wait until debt is paid off to start. For Sharla, this isn't going to be that long. I really believe that they can make big strides if they really try to cut and scrimp and get back on track. And then also, as long as the medical stuff stays where it needs to be, but we need to get caught back up. We need to get these pay in fours done. If we can get that stuff done, then that will give more money to play with if something does happen, because there are going to be bumps in the road, right? Because we all have bumps in the road. We all have detours. Life happens to all of us. Like I say in my life, I generally say that I feel like life kicks me in the face, right? Just when you think that everything is going good, all of a sudden life kicks you in the face. That's just life. It happens to all of us. And, you know, you can either complain about it or you can do something about it. You can put your nose down. You can work hard. You can, you know, crunch your numbers. You can see exactly what you need to do. All right, you guys, that's it for today's Back to the Basics. A huge thank you again to Sharla for being willing to share her budget with you. As I said, we will be doing Sharla's August budget, so we will get to see how she did in July. I do not expect perfection. I don't think any of you guys watching do, and I hope that Sharla can inspire each and every one of you out there to continue working hard and knowing that no matter how much time it takes you to get there, you will get where you want to be. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me today. And until I see you guys next time, remember to keep on smiling. Bye, everybody.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4,